Hi.
Oi, so they give access to their job portal, Geeks for free?
Yes, complimentary with the course.
And you got your job through that?
Me and 15,000 others across the world.
No way!
Oh, yes, Wiz. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks. My name is Muskan Agarwal, and as you all must have already seen by the title of this webinar, that we are going to help you curate your resume and make your resume perfect for every company that you apply for. And for that, we have Pooja with us, who is an HR at Geeks for Geeks itself. So yes, I will add her in some time. But before that, can you guys confirm in the comment section if I'm perfectly audible and visible? Okay, guys, I can see a lot of yeses in the comment section. That is great. I will soon add her. Meanwhile, I will also be taking few of the questions that you guys must be having, related to your resume and everything. So feel free to post them in the comment section, and definitely I will try to take them during the end of the webinar or during the webinar if the topic is related to it. So by the time Pooja is coming, can you guys tell me like what is the like what according to you is the biggest red flag in a resume? I want to see what do you guys think about it. What according to you guys are the biggest red flags in a resume? Like whenever you are making your resume, you make sure that all these things doesn't happen. I can see projects. Okay, make sure that you have projects. Yes, that is really correct. I can see that is this webinar available on YouTube? Yes, definitely. Like right now we are live, and after we're done with the webinar, the recording would be there on our YouTube channel. You can definitely check it out later on as well. Skills, projects, past experience. Yes, guys, definitely. As far as my experience is concerned, project and past experience definitely helps a lot. Not mentioning the contact links. Yes, it depends like how comfortable you are. And yeah, definitely. Can you show a resume? We'll ask Pooja if she can share a sample resume with us. Okay, just let me add her quickly. She's here. Hi, Pooja.
Hi, Muskan.
Yes. So as I've already told the audience that you are an HR at Geeks for Geeks itself. But before we start with the webinar, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. So, I have like more than 5 years of experience into HR and operations. So, which includes everything. Every aspect of HR is covered in my experience, so which includes the recruitment process majorly, and other things are at the minimum share of the work. So, if we talk about the whole recruitment process, I have like extensive experience into recruitment.
Okay, that is really great. So I would like to start with the rejections. Like most of the people put up this question like, how should I make my resume so that it gets selected in a company? But I want to ask, what are the kind of resumes that, that are instantly rejected by an HR? Like you see it and you're like, we're not taking it.
So, usually what happens is if the resume doesn't include exactly what you know, okay, so it
Hmm.
should be like if you are a fresher, you should keep it in a way where the resume is reflecting the overall educational background and your passing year, and if you have worked on any project, it should reflect that. But what happens is sometimes the people are not very aware how to make a resume. They'll just write a liner saying that, okay, I have graduated in this year, that's it. So that resume will end in half page, and
Right.
the content will also not be aligned in a proper way. So that's the way the resume should not be made, and that's the reason the resumes will be immediately rejected.
Definitely. So guys, make sure you do not do all these things if you do not want to get your resume rejected at a first instant. Yes. Apart from that, I have heard that like many people say that you should highlight the key points in a resume, but many students say that everything is important. So what should I highlight exactly? So what according to you are the key points
Uh,
that a student should highlight?
Yeah, so basically, there should be sections divided in your resume. One section should tell about your educational background. One section should be telling about your skill set. So, for suppose I have some experience and I have worked on maybe onto the advanced Excel or maybe something else. Or if I'm applying to a job wherein English communication is very, very important for, say, sales role or marketing role or any PR role. So I should be highlighting, okay, I have participated in these many debates and all. So that sort of a thing will be there. Highlighting doesn't mean you should use different color fonts or something like that. Only you should be writing pointers in a specified section. So that is all one should be making, one should be considering while making their resume.
Right. And as you mentioned, I think the resume changes for every job that you're applying for, and I think every company that you're applying for.
Does based on their requirement you have to make
Huh.
changes. Sometimes what happens, you have mentioned ABC and the other
Hmm.
company is asking for D also, and you already know that D, but the resume doesn't reflect
Hmm.
that you know it. So you have to change
Definitely.
it after reading the JD.
Yes, that is correct. Many students I've seen that they'll make one resume template, and each and every company they're applying for, they'll just upload it, and then people have this doubt that their resumes are not getting selected. So yeah. So another question is that how important are first impressions are for any student that is interviewing, like for maybe like in an HR interview or something. How important are first impressions?
It is important because that is how you start the communication. So,
Hmm.
yes, it is important, but sometimes people do make mistakes in the first go, right? So, you can cover it up and clarify in the very instant when you realize, okay, I have made this mistake, and you can just admit it. Okay, I said this wrongly. This is not what I meant, or this is
Hmm.
what I was trying to say. You can just clarify then and there, so it can actually ignored. So yeah, that's it. Mistakes are there, people do make mistakes, so it's okay.
Right. Actually, I have something to tell. Like in my interview, like while I was so nervous, I said good morning instead of good afternoon. So in the first impression, so my interviewer told that it is not good
that
morning.
is that is also okay.
Yeah.
Trust me, that is also okay. You just correct it then and there, it's okay. And even if you just forget to correct it also, that is also fine.
Right. Right. Just accept it honestly. I think that is the main point. I think your video is stuck. Pooja. Guys, can you let me know if I am audible and visible to you guys or not? Guys, she will be back with us soon. Can you confirm if I am audible or I am also not audible? Cool, I'm audible. Cool, cool. By the time you all can post your questions, I'm looking at the comment section, and you can post your questions, and I'll be selecting few of the comments that are there. Yeah, she will be back with us very soon. Don't worry. Number of pages in a resume, Ashish is asking. I think, like, according to me, it is one, but I will definitely put this question in front of Pooja as well, that like how many pages should be there, and should it vary according to the role that you are applying for, and what to do if you have a lot to mention in your resume, because this is something that even I have faced. So yes, definitely we will put that question forward. Uh, Many people are asking for a sample resume. You can find a lot of sample resumes on internet as well, but we will see if we can put a link of the sample resume in the description. Maybe if not in the webinar, maybe after the webinar we will try to put it. Yes, many people are answering as well that one page is more than enough. But yeah, we will put that question in front of her. Maybe she can answer it better. Right. How important are certifications? Definitely, I'll try to take this question. Also, guys, we have our own resume builder that is, ATS friendly as well, and you can, you do not have to go through the entire process that you have to make a template and everything. You just have to enter the details in our resume builder, and we will make the perfect resume for you that will be perfect for the companies that you're applying for. So you should definitely check that out, and we will put the link to the resume builder in the description box below. Definitely check it out, guys. Yeah, Pooja is here with us. I will just add her. Hi, Pooja. Yeah, I think you're mute.
Uh, 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 uh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
audible now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys, she's back. People have a lot of questions for you. We will take them, in the last 15 or 20 minutes.
Sure, sure.
So we were talking about first impressions. Now I would like to put this question: are grammatical mistakes a deal breaker?
To some extent, they are.
Yeah,
The reason is that is something which is going to be a turn off for a recruiter while they're trying to read it, but then there are grammatical mistakes. They won't be able to actually get what you are trying to say, right? So what
right.
happens if you are writing it grammatically wrong and the recruiter is reading it? Recruiter is not going to put extra effort to assume, okay, you might mean this thing, but because of grammatical error, you have made a mistake. Recruiter will
Hmm.
not invest that much of time and will not go to that extent where they will assume you might be willing to write this or you might be willing to write that, but you just made a grammatical mistake. So that is very, very important.
Yeah, maybe we can use simpler words instead of using, like very
Yes,
lengthy words or something. We can make simple.
yes.
Also, I've heard this thing that on an average, on your resume, an HR spends 8 to 10 seconds only. Is this thing true or no?
That's not that's not true. Uh, for a fresher, obviously they might invest lesser amount of time as compared to experienced candidate, but they have to read the resume. It's not like that they don't read the resumes, and it's not about seconds. It might take times
Right.
also, minutes also, and it depends what kind of experience you have mentioned. So
Hmm.
sometimes the resume is very, very detailed resume, and they have not mentioned direct points. They are mentioning it maybe in a long sentences. So recruiter will read the initial points but will not read the whole resume because
Hold
you
on.
have not
Right.
mentioned the pointers. The specific pointers are not mentioned. That's the point which one should be considering. And major point is if you're writing general sentences like basic sentences, that will also not get you shortlisted. You have to use those specific words which are highlighting
Hmm.
your skill set. So for
Right.
suppose if there is a software developer or let's say sales or marketing person, and the marketing person is very good in social media marketing and is not mentioning which social media he or she is good in. So that is
Hmm.
very generic sort of a thing that might get you shortlisted, but will not gather much of attention of a recruiter. So the recruiter might
Right.
call you, might not call you.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
yeah, so you have to be very specific in which section you have an experience.
That is really correct. Also, many people are asking in the comment section how long should the resume be? Some people are saying 1 page, some are saying 2 page, some are saying 3 pages as well. So, what according to you is the perfect length for a resume?
Should not go more than 1 page.
Should
Never,
not go.
yeah.
Ah, okay. Also, like, what if we have a lot of things to tell? Because this has been a problem with me as well. I'm like, this is also important. I should not remove this. This is also important. So, what should I do?
You have to redesign your sentences. For suppose
Hmm.
you have worked on a project and you spend like maybe months in that project. Sometimes what happens is one student might want to write, okay, I have spent these many hours or these many days in the project. This was the step-by-step process I followed. That's not
Hmm.
important. You just have to
Right.
mention this was the project and the project's aim was this. That's it. So you have to make it short and crisp. You should mention
Definitely.
everything, but in short and crisp
Short and
sentences.
crisp sentences.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. So all of those who were saying 2 to 3 pages, no, the resume should ideally be 1 page
That is
only.
that is a deal breaker actually, more than a
Yeah.
grammatical error.
Yes. Assume you're getting 100 resumes and each resume is for 2 to 3 pages. This is like the whole
Exactly.
day.
Yes. So when
Correct.
we post a job on Naukri or even on LinkedIn, we get more than 100 of applications, and there is one
Hmm.
recruiter who is working on one position, right? So the recruiter will not read all the resumes. They'll look for the key points. Okay, I'm looking for social media marketing, and I'm looking for somebody who has campaign experience. They look for,
Hmm.
okay, this person has worked on campaign. The person should be mentioning campaign. If campaign
Right.
word is not there, then they'll not shortlist.
Not shortlist, right? Also, I was about to come to this question later on, but since we're talking about it, that ATS friendly resume, right? Sometime before HR even goes through the resume, I think resumes are passed through an ATS machine or something. So, can you tell like what is an ATS friendly resume exactly?
Actually, there are different platforms, right, which we use. So these are
Hmm.
job portals and all. ATS is generally, I'm really not sure what ATS you understand. ATS is
Huh.
one tool system which is used by HRs inside the company. Okay, I want to track all the applications, and
Hmm.
I have one software which is helping me tracking all the application. That doesn't require any familiarity with any sort of keywords or anything. The only thing would be I'll have that resume bank in the cloud, and I can, whenever I want, I can download and I can check the resumes. These people have applied, these people have not applied, or whatever. But the question should be in a way wherein you want to see if I have uploaded my resume in on any job portal. So what is the familiarity with that job portal to get shortlisted, right? So
Okay.
these job portals work on keyword searching. Again, like I said, if you are in marketing, you should specify what exactly you have
Hmm.
done and what exactly you want to do. Those keywords are very, very important. That is the only thing which will help you get the first screening shortlisting done. So it's like if I have just mentioned plain, okay, I have done VTech and that's it. So that will not get you shortlisted. If a recruiter is looking only for BTech, then the resume will be shown in the search. So the Restex and the searches and the resume bank works like I have to put some keywords, and whatever
That should be there.
resume has that keyword will be shown
Hmm.
in my search results. So
Right.
those keywords are important, and that is the only thing which is important to be
Hmm.
mentioned in the resume.
Right. I think you mentioned it earlier as well. Suppose
Yeah,
we are looking for a React developer job and the term React is only not there in your resume. But you have done
yeah.
a project and everything, but you have not mentioned React or whatever tech stack you have used. So it will get rejected automatically.
It will not even show
So,
in the search result.
right, right.
So
Definitely.
if I'm searching for React and there
Hmm.
are hundreds of resumes which are showing in my results, your
Hmm.
resume will not be there because you have not mentioned it.
Right. So making an ATS friendly resume is, I think, very important because these days company like that is the first screening process before I think even an HR sees it, right?
Yeah.
So also, there are many resume building websites that are there. Also, we have our own GFG portal that, wherein the students can make their own resumes. And also, Word is there. So many people prefer Word, and many people prefer these websites. So, what according to you is better?
Actually, now this is a trend of using the resume builder websites, and people do hire resume writers also. There are specific jobs also where people just work on resume writing for others. Even
Right.
Naukri portal has a team of resume writing people. So that is something which helps you in making, like, again, if you can write short and crisp sentences explaining
Hmm.
all about your experience, then it's good. If you can't do that, then obviously you need a resume builder, and there are hundreds of resume builder websites with
Hmm.
free access or with paid access, so whatever suits you. And otherwise, usually people who are into designing and all, they actually design their own resume. They don't go for the
Right.
resume builder and all. So
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
just a plain resume will not be getting shortlisted. Obviously, it should be presentable enough, and presentable enough doesn't mean it should be catchy with quirky colors and all. It should be very decent with the professional color. It should not be like red and
Right.
yellow and blue. That sort of a thing should not be there. The basic
Hmm.
professional colors should be used, like gray, black, and maybe dark blue, or maybe a blue with the coordination with whatever color you are using on the resume, or otherwise just
Right.
a blank white with the plain black text would do.
Right, definitely. Many people in the comment section, are not able to interrupt. They're thinking that by saying that it should be nicely done, they mean proper colors and everything. No, guys, like we meant it should be with proper professional colors and
Professional
highlighted
colors.
and everything. Yeah.
Yes, if you are using colors, the colors should be professional. And
Ah,
obviously, this is a very detailed sort of a debate. So maybe you guys can just check. Usually, whatever the decent colors are there, these are black, dark blue, or
right.
maybe some green and all. So these colors are used for professional resumes, and resume builders are also using only these colors and not pink and red and yellow. These colors are not used on the resume builder webs also.
Right. So, guys, hope your doubt is clear. Do not do that blunder. Definitely. Also, this photo thing, I had this doubt from the longest time. Many people say that you should put your photograph, like a professional photograph, like you put on LinkedIn, on your resume as well. And some people say that you should not put it. It is not professional. So, what according to you is correct?
Uh, it was earlier perceived as non-professional thing years
Hmm.
ago, but now most of the people are using photo resume. So yeah,
Right.
one can use it, and most of the companies are actually using it. So yeah, that's okay. Like you can use it, but then make sure it is a professional photo and should not be. Sometimes what we receive on resume is maybe somebody is uploading a picture from a party. So that should not be the case.
Right.
There should be a professional picture.
Right. I think that is also a red flag. Like in the first question, this
Yeah.
should be also be considered a non-professional
Yes.
photo, right? Also, cover letter. Can you tell us what exactly is a cover letter and is it essential for a student to attach a cover letter along with resume?
A cover letter is something wherein maybe you are not present and you want to communicate something. For example, if given a chance and I'm sitting in front of a interviewer and I'm explaining what I do, what I want to do, okay? And this is my background, and also cover letter is just a replica of your resume, but in detail. So that is not very important. And honestly, not all recruiters will read it. Most of recruiters will not read it. They'll just look for your resume because that is a detailed letter. It's just a letter, right? And a formal letter saying that I am this, I have this background, I work on this, and everything in detail, whatever you have written in the resume. So if there are two
Right.
documents telling me the same thing, I'll go with the document which is brief.
Short.
So I'll
Right.
look for a resume and not will read the cover letter. Sometimes some companies would specifically ask for a cover letter. Reason being they want to know how good you are in the written communication. That's the only reason they ask you to write a cover letter. Otherwise, they are not really interested in reading that. So if a company is specifically asking you for the cover letter, then it is very, very important. If they are
Hmm.
not asking, then you should not add it.
Right. Also, like the students who were saying 2 to 3 pages, maybe they can add those things in the cover letter instead of writing in the resume. Right.
Yes.
Then coming to portfolios, like these days, many people are preferring portfolios. I can see a lot of job portals wherein they ask our portfolio website. So how do you like? Is portfolio important nowadays? Like each and every student should have a portfolio website, or is it not mandatory?
No, it's not. It is role wise. So if you are applying for a non-tech role, then it might not be very, very important. For if you are applying for a design role related to any design, maybe motion graphics, or maybe you are just applying for the video editing and you are applying for a graphic design, then yes, you should have a portfolio. But if you are applying for sales role, they will not ask you for the portfolio. So it's not very important. For non-tech, it's not very important. Even for software, they will not ask for a portfolio. They might ask for your coding platform IDs. Okay, so
Hmm.
if you are maybe if you are practicing on any coding platform, then they would ask you, okay, mention your coding profile there. So that is what they can ask, but the detailed portfolio is not considered for
Is
all the
not
roles. It
asked.
is, yeah, it is only required for the design related roles.
Right. Can you suggest few of the websites, if possible, like wherein students can make their portfolios easily, just as like there are websites for resume building. So are there any for portfolio as well?
Yes, there are, but not many. I won't be able to recall the names as of now because honestly, I have
Uh-huh.
not worked on that. But for resume builder, there are many like resume fox and all. So that is there, and even Naukri portal gives you the paid services for that. Even portfolio writing, people are also there. But portfolio website, I just can't name it right now. I'm really sorry for that.
Uh-huh. Guys, you can just Google. I think there are so many portfolio websites. You will easily find them, right? Okay. Then my last question would be, as in HR, what are some of the common mistakes that you generally come across in a student's resume so that these guys can
Uh,
avoid?
Yeah, so generally with the freshers, actually not with experienced candidates. So with freshers, we experience things like obviously there are grammatical mistakes and resume length and the alignment of the text. There could be one common mistake, which is like in one page resume or two-page resume, people are using different text formats. So it can be like heading is something else, maybe in italic
Hmm.
or something. Then there is Arial text. So that should not be the case. It should be identical or it should be same. It should not have different the text fonts and text colors. So that is
Right.
something which actually gathers the attention. It grabs like quickly. Okay, this text font is different. So it doesn't. Okay, it's very very normal thing. If you are looking at a document and there are multiple text fonts, you won't be interested to read that. It is sort of a turn off for a recruiter,
Hmm.
and then the recruiter will have to put extra effort to read and understand what the
Right.
person has written there. So
Right.
yeah, that's the thing.
Right. I think that is where you talked about the professional resume as well. I think like
Yeah,
same font and color. I think
yeah.
everything that we already discussed. Right. So do not make these mistakes. Yes. Now I can see there are a lot of questions that are there in the comment section, and we can quickly try to take those questions. So Rhythm has asked that should we mention certifications of Udemy or Coursera in our resume?
You should always.
Okay. So then the next question is asked. Just one second. People are asking what font should we use? If you can suggest any font because there are so many.
Yeah, so for the professional documents, you usually use Times New Roman, Calibri,
Hmm.
and Arial. So these are three main fonts which are used for any professional document, even in report writing, even in emails, even in any document. So these are main fonts which are used, and with the text size of 9, 10, 12. So
Hmm.
these are the text sizes also.
Okay. Okay. Also, the next question is a very common question that is asked by Deep, that freshers say that they do not have a lot of things to write in the resume. And as you mentioned in the starting itself, that if it is a half-page resume, it doesn't look good. So, what all can a fresher add who does not have a lot of projects or work experience with him or her?
Even if one person is a fresher, they might have worked on different things, as in they might have
Hmm.
undergone a project, because I guess in every professional education, including BTech or any other professional education, everyone is supposed to work on a project, right? So
Right.
that project should be mentioned there. You can add extracurricular activities which actually highlight what sort of qualities you have. And if you are in sports and all, if you were in any sort of community, maybe related to debates and all, you can mention that, which helps
Hmm.
a recruiter to assume or to understand what kind of personality you have. Okay, so
Hmm.
somebody maybe have been participating in a lot of debates and all. The person is a good speaker, right?
Right.
And if somebody was into sports and all, the person is a good team player. So that means is a these things will actually help us to understand that person can be a good fit for the organization, can be a good fit for a team. Even if the person
Team.
is not experienced, then these things gets them shortlisted.
Hmm. Students think that these things are not good enough to put in a resume. Sometimes, even participating in a hackathon, I think students can put that in a resume. Like in my first year,
Yes,
I thought
they
I just
can.
participated, did not win, so I should not write it. But I think we should.
No, actually, you should. Yeah, everyone should
Huh.
write that. If they are participating, also, it's good. If you have just won it, very, very good. But even if you
Hmm.
have participated, that shows that you have been putting some efforts and you do something, right? You want to do something. If you're not writing anything, that means you are just idle and you are not doing anything. So, which is
Right.
not a very good sign for a recruiter to shortlist your resume. So, you should add on extracurricular activities. If you have undergone any sort of certification, you should always mention that. If you have just gone through a training, maybe people usually do that. They go for MS Office trainings and all. So, even if you have done that, you should mention it. If you have participated any sort of good webinars also, you can mention that also. For suppose somebody is saying that I have participated in the webinar for personal development training, something like
Hmm.
that, and that person is interested in the sales role or marketing role. Obviously, this is an additional point to get the resume shortlisted.
Definitely. I think these are some of the very important point for freshers because they think that
Yeah,
they've not done enough, maybe in the technical field, but you can add your non-technical achievements as well and from the school
yeah.
as well, right? Yeah. So the next question is asked by Aditya that should we prefer one column format or a two column format?
Anything would work. If you have a lot of content to mention, then obviously two column would work for you because that will keep your resume in one page. But if you
Hmm.
have less amount of text, then you can use one column format.
Right. Then Lalit has asked that should I make separate resumes for different job roles?
Should I made a
Should
separate
I
resume
make?
for different roles? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, there is one point. I would say people do that, and you can do it if you can actually explain and you can actually fit into the roles. If
Hmm.
there are roles like there is one technical role, there is one non-technical, and you're applying for both, obviously you won't be able to explain yourself in both the interviews, right? So
Hmm.
whatever you are writing, or maybe you just meant that maybe company A is hiring for sales and company B is hiring for the sales role only, and C is also hiring for the sales role, but their requirements are a bit different. Then obviously you can alter your resume according to that. That is fine.
Right.
But if the roles are completely different and you don't have any experience into that, then you should not be doing it because that goes with a wrong impression in the first round of interview itself. That you have mentioned
Right.
something else, but actually you don't know that. So yeah, that will be counted as a negative experience.
Maybe it will not even get them till the interview because their skills are not matching.
Uh,
So resume
no,
will.
actually,
Hmm.
that might because
Huh.
the person might mention something which is matching the job role, but doesn't know
Huh.
anything about it. Then it will
Hmm.
be like the resume has got shortlisted. On the first screening call itself, the candidate might get rejected because that person doesn't know about the role. They have just
Right.
mentioned it. Yeah. So they might get first call, but not later stages.
Great. Then people are asking, can you suggest any particular website to build a fresher resume? We have our own portal at Geeks for Geeks for building your resume. You just have to enter your details, and we will build a resume for you. That will be ATS friendly, and whatever Pooja suggested, that you should have a proper font and keyword should be highlighted. Everything would be done by us. You just have to enter your details, so it makes the process really easy. So you should definitely check it out. The link would be in the description for sure. Okay. uh, Professional, some people are asking that should we ask some professional to write our resumes for off campus drives? Is it
You
important?
can. It is not very important, but if you feel that you need help, then you can obviously ask somebody, or that will be, but again, that will be chargeable. So I would
Huh.
suggest you actually discuss with some of your seniors, maybe, or maybe if you have elder brother or sister, you can ask them, refer their resumes, try to make a replica of that to start with.
Hmm.
And as soon as you start appearing in the different interviews, you'll get to know what changes you are supposed to make in your resume.
Right. Also, I think you can send your resumes to some experienced people on LinkedIn, and I think people are more than happy to help. They can, review your resume and suggest you the changes. So maybe, like,
Again, but there could be a chance they might ask you for the paid services, obviously.
huh.
So if you want to go for a free service, then you can just ask them if you can help them with the resume building, or you can look for the resume samples online and try to build a resume like that. Or the best idea is to consult your seniors or maybe your
Hmm.
elder brother or sister. That is going to
Yes.
be better suggestion for you, and they'll actually explain you what should be mentioned, what should not be mentioned. So yeah, that's the thing.
Then Rishabh has asked that how to make a perfect resume for any technical company or maybe any technical role that he's applying for. Any suggestion on that?
You should be mentioning what you do, what you code. So
Right.
that is very, very important. And your so now in product-based companies, especially IT product-based companies, they do ask for your coding platforms IDs. So if you have
Hmm.
profiles on coding platforms, CodeChef and all, you should mention that, and you should mention what rank you have, star coding there. So these things actually highlight your resume amongst other resumes and get you shortlisted on priority as
Right.
compared to other resumes.
And I think as we mentioned earlier that you should highlight your tech stack, or if you're mentioning
Yeah,
projects, you can highlight the tech stack that you are
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Then people are asking what things are there that can backfire. I think we have already covered this question, so you can maybe watch it after the live is over. So we have covered this question. Yes. Then how to create a resume for, okay. Uh, just one second. I think we have covered most of the questions. Now the questions are repetitive only. Any suggestions for engineering students freshers resume? So we have already covered this question as well. You can watch this afterwards. Then Vijay Singh is asked that how many minor projects should we upload in our resume? Maybe how many projects can we add in our resume?
There is no limitation to that. If you're crossing the page limit, then you should obviously mention
Huh.
only the important ones. Otherwise, there is no limit. And yeah, if you want to mention the project names only and it is going beyond the resume length, proposed length, then obviously you can just add on with the project titles only. And if you have worked on five, write five. If you have worked on 10 also, you can write 10 also. That is not a problem.
Right. Also, many people are asking about the work experience. Suppose we do not have any work experience. So, is it okay if we do not add that section only?
Yeah, that is completely fine.
Right, right. So, for freshers, I think she's a fresher or something like if you do not have any
So
work experience, it is fine.
yeah, I'll just repeat it once again. For the freshers, if you don't have experience, you can mention about your extracurricular activities. If you have been a part of any kind of society or something, you can mention that. If you write, you can mention that. And if you have some sort of interest, different interest, maybe you write blogs or something, you can write that also. You can
Hmm.
mention these things and that will cover up a lot of space in your resume and will give some idea to a recruiter what sort of personality you have.
Right. Then I think we've covered all the questions. So many people are asking about how to, for a graphic designer, how should a resume be? I think we cannot answer, like, you should add your skills in that. How can
Yes,
we
you should
answer
add your
that?
skills. And for us, like if we get a very good resume from a graphic designer, the resume is very, very appealing.
Right.
So that is going to be that should not be a plain paper and with black fonts only. From a designer, we do expect they'll add their portfolio, and the resume is
Hmm.
very, very attractive also with the professional colors and all, with the presentations, and they are actually very creative in mentioning. Okay, if they are mentioning about maybe social media link, or maybe they are mentioning about the LinkedIn profile, so they'll use their icons also. So that sort of a thing is something which is actually depending on your profile, your understanding how
Perfect.
creative
Yeah,
and how short you can make it.
definitely. Keeping the points that Pooja stated earlier, then curate your resume. Like it should be grammatically, correct and everything. Then Sahil Kumar has asked that how can we check that if our resume is ATS friendly or not?
You can't check that. The only thing which you can do is you need to mention the keywords. Keywords is the only thing which is important after the grammatical error. And whatever profile you are applying, you should be mentioning, you should formulate a sentence in a way which covers the specific keyword. Okay, so if I want to write, I work on maybe social media. Again, I'm using the same example. So if I am applying for the marketing profile and I want to say I am a social media expert and I'm just writing that, that thing will not get me shortlisted. I need to write, okay, I work on Facebook platform, or I work on Telegram, or I work on Pinterest. I need to mention these words. So that is
Right.
what make you make your resume to get shortlisted in the first screening, wherein we actually screen the resumes based on the location, based on the skill set, and the
Hmm.
keyword search. The keyword search will actually work only if you have mentioned that keyword.
Right, definitely. Also, I think there are some platforms wherein you can check, but none of them is like 100% correct as far as I
They
know.
are not. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think we have covered most of the questions. And guys, certifications, we have covered this question as well. Maybe you can watch this video afterwards, and then that question is already answered. How can we find the suitable keywords in which we are applying for a particular company? So, like, I think
It
we have
is
already
not dependent
discussed.
on, yeah, it's
Huh.
not dependent on the company. It is dependent on your role.
Role, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Should I add certificates again? She said that yes, we can add our certificates. Many people are asking repetitive questions. I think we have covered all the questions. So, yes, just 1 second. I'll just wait for another 30 seconds. If there is any new question, I'll just put up. Otherwise, we can end the webinar. Yes. Guys, we are waiting for another 30 seconds. If you have any question, you can put up. Okay. How many work experience should we mention? Like some people I've seen, they have so many work experiences. So how many ideally should one mention?
Everything. If you have
Everything.
work ex, then obviously you should mention it.
Right. I think resume building is also an art. You are trying to fit everything in one page. It should be in PDF or doc. Whatever is asked by the company, whatever format is accepted. I think that.
No, I'll just like to add in
Huh.
here. You should use PDF. Why? Because sometimes people are using different applications to access their
Hmm.
emails, and the word format might get disturbed while emailing. So use
Yeah.
a PDF always.
Hmm. So guys, PDF like is preferred. Yes. So I think we have covered all the commonly asked question with respect to resume. Apart from that, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section, and we will try to answer as many as possible. Thank you so much, Pooja, for taking out your time and coming and taking this webinar and helping the student community. I am very sure it will help a lot of students curate their resume and everything. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me, Muskan. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. Before ending this webinar, I would like to tell you guys again that all the specifications that we have mentioned in the webinar, like it should be grammatically correct, then it should it should be in proper like highlighted keywords should be there and everything. So we have our own resume builder. You can simply enter your details and we will make the resume for you. So we have basically done everything for you. You just have to spend 5 to 10 minutes entering your details. So do not forget to check them out and make your resume so that your resume gets shortlisted in your dream company. And yes, I will see you in the next webinar. Till then, bye bye.